everybody? It's your girl, Angela. We've been having COVID now for about 8 or 9 months, and so I've been kind of bored trying to get through the pandemic time, socially distancing from everyone. And I thought about it, and I said, hey, why don't I have some of my friends come and talk to me? I have some cool friends. They have some cool stories. So that's what we're going to do to get through COVID together. Come and talk. Our first guest today is our boy, Brandon.
Yes.
Say hi.
Hello, everyone. Hello.
So Brandon and I met in a sports group called Take 5 Sports. Shout out to Take 5 Sports. And we also had an internet radio show, Take 5 Sports. And then we became... that I left the show for maternity leave for 3 years.
Right.
And then we became fast friends based on just cool people, similar situations. We both had a baby. Yeah. Me physically, him via his wife. About a month or so apart. Our kids are like a month or so apart.
Yeah, basically like a month. So like end of October and
end of October.
Beginning of December.
Yeah.
So
they're supposed to be best friends, but Brandon won't let them hang
they
out.
They are best friends. And
then we bonded the most of our love of Kobe Bryant, which is why, because Brandon is here today, I pulled out the KB Mamba jacket.
The fresh one. Look at that.
Just to celebrate.
It's
the 8 and the 24.
And we didn't even record. I just wore it. I had the shirt on today. Like, I put it on not even knowing what she was going to wear. Like, I had it feeling.
Because that's what we do. It's the 3-year anniversary of Kobe's retirement.
It is. It is.
It has not been a year fully of Kobe's passing.
Coming up on it, though.
Let's start with that.
Okay.
How you been dealing with that?
It's weird for me because anytime someone passes away, either like a celebrity or like a family member, I always look at my own mortality. Like, okay, this is going to happen to me eventually, and it shakes me to my core. Like, I'm going to happen to me. I'm going to die one day. But with Kobe, it scared me more because he was like my childhood hero.
Yeah,
he's not supposed to like die so tragically so early in his life. So it was like, damn, if this can happen to Kobe, like, oh my goodness, like, he's not supposed to be dead right now. You know what I mean? So it was just like, it always makes me appreciate life more and my family more. But with Kobe, it made me even more like, okay, he built a legacy for his family, even though he's not here. His girls still reap the benefits of that. So it kind of made me, I got to get on my stuff. I got to get on my shit right now and grind more, because when I do go and leave, I want my girls and my family to be taken care of the way that Kobe was able to leave for his family. Not the same degree, obviously, he's a multi-millionaire, $100 million, not the same.
I mean, but could be.
Well, it could be, yeah. But I mean, just, more or less like the normal, like, leaving my family's property or, money behind and making sure they understand life and they have goals and how to achieve those goals. So, and then right after that, COVID hit.
Right.
So then I was able to really spend more time with my family without even, having to set up like that. You know what I mean? So, it really just put things in perspective for me more and made me want to grind more and have more of that Mamba mentality to be able to provide for my family and leave them with something, Lord forbid, if I have to go before them, if something tragic happens, like it did with Kobe, I want them to be taken care of and to know that their father laid out things for them, for them to be successful as well. So, yeah, but it was hard, tough getting through that. It was tough.
It was so hard.
I mean, it still is.
It's so hard. And the crazy, I was just thinking literally yesterday, I was like, how could you miss somebody that you didn't know? Right. Like, and I literally miss Kobe Bryant. Like, he was my friend or something. Right, no. Like, how does that happen? Where does that come from?
But isn't it like we didn't know him? Like, we couldn't pick up the phone and call Kobe. But we knew what he was going to be at every day for 20 years.
And he rarely let us down. Right. That's the thing about Kobe. He didn't let us down. Because someone was like, well, you guys act like he's a superhero. But I was thinking, well, in sports, when the game is on the line, which is theoretically, he was our superhero. You knew that if you called Kobe in, he was going to save the day. And so he was in LA for 20 years. That's more than half of our lives. Right. Like, we've seen him from prom all the way until his passing.
Right, and then a little bit post-retirement as well. So.
And I loved retired Kobe.
Oh, yeah, retired
Like,
Kobe
he was so chill. We saw so much more. Yeah. Like, you already loved him, and then you just I loved him more. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
He's the first celebrity that I cried. Like, I
Me too.
cried.
Me too.
I sat in we were going to Home Depot to get some paint.
Mm-hmm.
And then our neighbors were outside and they looked so stressed. And I said, so me trying to be a responsible neighbor, I'm like, pull over. Like, let's see if they need somebody. Do we need to call the police or something? Like, you know, what's going on? We need an ambulance. So we pulled over, like, is everything okay? Can we help? And they're like, you guys don't know? And we're like, no, what? They're like, Kobe Bryant died. I'm like, so I think I was numb because we went to Home Depot, got paint, came back. I went to the nail shop. I'm watching, you know, the news. I'm fine. Nails done. Got in my car and I broke down crying, and then I cried for days. Like, and then every time you'd be almost done, you know, the Shaq interview happened, or like, you know, I still to this day watch Michael Jordan's speech at Kobe Bryant's funeral. I probably watch it Monday. Like, I've watched
it several times too. For me, I remember the day like it was yesterday. I'm sure everybody does. So I remember it being so foggy that morning.
Yes.
And this was back, you know, me and you were talking about getting back to the gym. I was on my gym stuff. I was getting up in the morning, that Sunday morning, going to the gym. Went to the gym, and I'm thinking, like, it was foggy. I got to the gym, and it was, on a Sunday, it was kind of empty. Not that many people there, but still people in there. And on the incline bench press, and my phone vibrates. I'm racking it up, like, who the hell is texting me? And it's my sister-in-law. She just texted, Kobe Bryant died. And I said, what? I thought she was, like, joking because of the night before, LeBron had passed him in points. So I thought maybe she saw a meme or something. I'm like, no, LeBron just passed him in points. So I go on to Facebook. That's why I got news information. Nobody said anything on Facebook yet, right? And in the gym, TV's everywhere. It's all on sports. There's nothing popping up. I look around. I'm looking around. There's nobody in the gym, like, reacting. There's nobody in the gym. Like, everybody's normal. I pick up my bag and I get ready to go because my friend called me from work, knows him as a Kobe fan. I didn't want to answer it, so I didn't answer it. And I go to the front desk. Nobody's reacting. I get in the car. Then answer my phone still. In the radio, there's nothing. Nobody saying anything. I'm like, cool. Maybe it's something going on.
Right, because the internet kills people. Right. Like, all the time. So that are not really dead.
I'm on ESPN 710. I'm like, they would have said something. They're talking about football. There's nothing else. So I get home, and when I walk in the door, my wife had the TV on, and she's standing there with my daughter. And it said on the TV, they had a picture of him and everything. I'm like, oh, and I just broke down. Like, that's when it hit me. I'm like, how?
So I know that, like, we hear a lot of stories, like, in the sports world where people say that, like, you know, sports have saved my life. Yeah. But you really have a story to where sports literally saved your life. Yeah. Like, can you tell us about that a little bit?
Okay, so I love basketball, but I wasn't that good at basketball as I was in football.
Like, I like that honesty.
Yeah, I just wasn't. I told you I was tall, right? So I played center a lot. I didn't develop my guard skills. So when I started to, like, be a normal guard height, they just weren't there. So I went more towards football because I was just better at football. I just catch the ball, run. I was fast. So I was playing football my junior year or my senior year. My senior year, and you get a lot of little bumps and bruises and stuff with that nature and stuff. So I'm taking a shower one day and I feel like a lump on one of my testicles. I'm like, this is probably from football or something. So. Now, normally, most young men at that age won't tell their moms stuff like that. It's embarrassing. And I'm like, let me tell my mom because it'll give me something I may not be able to play. Mm-hmm. So I told my mom, and then we went to the doctor, and they were like, yeah, that's not normal.
This is in high school?
It's in high school.
Okay.
I was in high school. I was a senior. And I was going to my senior year, actually. And so that was December of, like, my senior year. And we go, and they get it checked out and stuff. And the team, the first... He told my coach. He took us to, like, the little school doctor or whatever, and then they're like, "Yeah, you got to go to, like, the regular doctor. It's not normal. It's not an injury." Okay. So then we went to that doctor. Now, mind you, you said that sports saved my life, and I think it did because I was more worried about the not being a sports injury, and I couldn't play. So that's what I was worried. I wasn't worried about anything. I didn't think anything else other than, I got to play, so I need to get this checked out, get it fixed. I can play. So then the team doctor from the school sent me to California Hospital, get an ultrasound. He said, we got to remove that. So I'm like, what the hell? Like, you got to remove my testicle? Like, that's not normal, is it? I know, we got to do tests on it and stuff. So I'm still not knowing the severity of. My mom's tearing up. It's like, my mom, it's just simple surgeries. Like, what are you worried about? And she knew kind of what it could have been at that point, but she didn't tell me until later on. And they ran the test, and it came back that I had testicular cancer.
Wow.
So we go and I get more scans. They got to do more tests on you at that point. It still hasn't hit me yet. When they tell me, it came back positive and you have cancer. You don't know, 17, 18, I don't know what cancer is.
Right.
So I go to USC County Hospital. I'm sitting there for hours. I was sitting there for so long. And I finally go in and I do, like, the MRI, the full body. brain, chest, everything. And I'm waiting for the results hours and hours and hours. My mom leaves and comes back later on. The nurse calls me in, my mom was gone. And she's like, she's crying. A young black lady, she's crying. Like,
really?
Emotionally crying. I'm professionally crying. She shouldn't be doing this, right? But she had a son that was around my age. And she had to tell, she saw the results of the scans. And this cancer had spread to my lungs.
Oh, wow.
Like all on my left side. And the large one was about the size of a golf ball. And she said she thought about her son.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
So she was emotional. She was telling me, and I'm still like, okay, I got it. What did we do? How do we fix it? I'm not thinking it's just like a, at that age, I probably thought it was a pill you take or something, and it goes away. I don't know all the stuff I'm about to go through. And my mom comes in, my granddad comes in. He brought her back in, and they were crying and stuff. And I'm still like, what the hell? Why are y'all all so, what's going on? So then a few weeks go by, and then they start setting up where they say you're gonna go through chemotherapy. I'm like, here's the medicine. Here's the, you take the pill, you feel better. They explained to me, and I started crying. This is the first time I ever cried. When they told me that I would have to be in the hospital for 5 days at a time. So I would go in Monday and not be discharged until Friday.
Wow. And
while you're in there, you're gonna be hooked up to a machine, and they're gonna give you the medicines overnight, and then it's gonna make you feel real drained and stuff. And then the 5th day, you're gonna leave. You're gonna feel real drained throughout the whole 3 weeks that you're gone. And then, because your white blood cell count goes down, because we're killing the good cells as well as the bad cancerous cells. Then when your good cells come back up to normal, you're gonna do it again. You gotta do this 8 times for over 3 months. So I said, wow, this is a lot. This isn't just a pill. This isn't just something that you just take and you feel better over time. And it was the first time that I realized how serious it was. So I'm like, damn. So I'm still on some, okay, well, when will I be able to play sports again? Like, this was, I was supposed to go to Arizona State at the time to play football. And they're like, well, we got to go through your treatments and stuff to see how things work out. And then, we'll see that later on. So people who never had cancer, but everybody's been, touched by it. So everybody knows about it. But if you haven't had it, the only way I can explain it to somebody that hasn't had it is like, imagine having like the flu and a hangover for like 3 months.
Wow.
Like, one or the other. Like the flu makes you feel achy and nauseous and not want to eat anything. And then a hangover just makes you feel like your head hurts and you kind of like want to lay down. And it's a combination of both.
Right.
For that whole period of time. You may have a couple good days.
Was it one of those things where you didn't physically feel bad until you knew, and then as soon as you knew?
I was top of my game. I was like All-American in football. That age, 18, not an ounce of body fat.
Right.
I felt perfectly fine, not knowing that this cancer was in my body and it spread already. I was at stage 3.
Wow.
I didn't even realize, the stages at that age. But going back and doing research, I was at stage 3, like where it spreads to your lung and liver and stuff. So, like Lance Armstrong, for example, was at stage 4. It was much worse. I was like one stage below Lance Armstrong, and he like almost died from it. So I'm like, damn, I was really like not like in the beginning stages of it, but I was able to make it through, and I went through that. It's so much to go through, because once you're done with the chemo, then every month afterwards you have to go and get checked and get for after a year. Every month you got to go and they draw blood from you.
And did you have like then that nervousness comes always, like with every check.
This was in 2007, my senior year in high school. That was 13 years ago. I'm still nervous to this day. So you're in remission for 5 years.
Yeah.
So from 2007 to 2013, I was in remission, meaning like that's the stage where it could come back. I've been out of remission for like 7 years now. And I'm still, because you can get a different form of cancer. Right. I'm nervous about my kids now. You know what I mean? Even though I have girls, but I don't know. You know what I mean? You don't know where. Nobody knows where cancer comes from. I didn't even know. I'm the first in my family to have that type of cancer. You know what I mean? So it was nerve wracking. It was nerve wracking. But going back to your first thing when you said sports saved my life, it was something because our coach at TAB, where I was playing football, I always told us if there's something wrong, tell us.
Yeah.
He put that in our head because he wasn't the coach who
suck it up.
Suck it up and play. Yeah. You got a concussion. No, you got it. He was like, no, you guys are like my sons. I don't want you playing. So I thank him because having that not suck it up and be a man about it and being able to open up about everything helped me be able to go and to my mom and figure out because if I didn't do that, who knows? It would have just kept growing.
Yeah,
and I
especially if you're already in stage 3.
You're already
ticking on your time clock.
Having that type of male role figure that, because you know when you have a coach, they're like a father figure to you.
Yeah.
So you kind of go by what they say. So if he could have that brute mentality, that kind of like, you know, don't macho ha I wouldn't have told anybody, because it's embarrassing to tell your mom about something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I tell, you know, I still go to UCLA Mattel Hospital. That's where I was at. I was in the Mattel in the pediatrics. I still go there once a year, talk to some of the kids there, and just let them know to be aware of your body. Nice. You know, because you're there, you're around your body more than anybody. So if you see something wrong or you feel like something's wrong, to let people know, because you never know, like if you go and check it out, how that can prevent something bigger from happening.
Trying to find that balance, and then just trying to make sure you don't lose yourself. Right, you know what I mean? Because you can. I found myself losing myself for like a little bit, because you have to like learn, especially after you have a baby, you have to learn how to be a woman again. You have to learn how to be a wife again. Your body, you have to learn your body again. Like this is a foreign creature. So first it was like me, then I was foreign because I was pregnant, and like who knows what the hell was happening then. Then you have the baby and you think like, she out, we good. We not good. We not even close to good, and we maybe just now are starting to be good, like in my own body, and she's 3. You know what I mean? Like that's like crazy, and it's hard because you don't think that people understand what you're trying to say. Like, you know, you're very like I find you to be very like considerate. You know, you would tell me how you were like helping your wife and listening to your wife and all that stuff, but you didn't understand. Like you wanted to and you tried to, but you don't get it. And we're not stupid. We know you don't get it. Like, so we're trying to talk to you, but you don't get it. So you just feel also like very alone.
Oh no, there's many times that my wife was crying to me or something, and I, like me, like you said, being disconsiderate or being a husband, I would listen.
Yeah. I
don't know what to say. All I can do is lean in my ear. You know what I mean? I don't know how to tell you, like, I'm telling you, you look beautiful. I'm telling you, you're fine. Yeah. And we'll get back to it together, or you know, you're still going. But you don't want to hear that shit, because you want it done now, or I don't really know what you're feeling. You know what I mean? So I'm listening, but I don't understand everything. Yeah. So yeah, it's and I think women get so many bad stigmas. And like being a mama's boy and having daughters, I'm always like pro woman, or I'm always on a woman's side. So it's like it's a stigma. Like, okay, a woman is supposed to just have the baby and, like you said, do everything. Like, you know, go to work, drop the baby off, pick him up, go home, have the baby, cook, clean, like on some like old 50s up, like stirring the pot, holding the baby type shit. Like, it's like, no, like, you know what I mean? Like, they are humans and they need breaks just like we do. And I think the stigma makes it even harder for women to want to be of the stigma side of help, because in your mind, I'm supposed to be like my mom, and I'm supposed to be like, you know, old school stuff, and not need me help and be able to do 6 things at one time, and not, you know, it's not true. You know what I mean? So, like I said, me being a mama's boy, understanding that, talking to my mom at a young age and understanding what she went through, helped me in my marriage. And these are things you don't even know as a kid. Yeah. You know, growing up, I didn't know talking to my mom about her issues and things that she was going through and needing help. So it helped me in turn years down the line in my marriage. Right. Know that my wife needs stuff that my mom needed that she wasn't getting. You know what I mean? So I think it's important for parents to teach their kids or give their kids little tidbits.
So you and I have similar thinking about a lot of stuff, right? Yeah. Kobe, Lakers, the way we raise our children, the way we have families, our love of football, or my past love of football, your halfway love of football, your own thing. Yeah. But the one thing that we have disagreed on is your love of Pretty Ricky, and the audacity you have to throw Pretty Ricky into a conversation that includes Jodeci, Boys to Men, New Edition, 112, like any true mega boy male R&B group. And then you was like, yeah, because you know, like when Pretty Ricky come on, like, no, we're talking about Jodeci.
No, that wasn't the context though.
That was the context. I will never forget that conversation. I will hold you accountable for ever including them for the rest of our lives.
Now, what the conversation was, and for the record, I graduated in 07, so just keep that in mind.
Now you're calling me old. Go ahead.
No, I'm not kind of calling anybody old. I just gave when I graduated, for anybody that would know. Okay, so somebody put in, I think they said Jodeci or something, and that was like y'all free song or something. I don't remember who
Freaking You, probably.
Probably so.
Yeah.
And then I said, like, at our parties, when they would put on Pretty Ricky, not comparing them to them, like, you know, what they've done in any musically way. All I'm saying is that when Pretty Ricky would come on in my era of high school, that was our freak song. We would find a wall and grab the nasty girl smooth.
Oh my god!
And they banned Pretty Ricky at our prom.
What song was it? Grind on Me?
No, Ain't Nothing But a Number.
I don't even know these songs.
Yeah, it's like I don't remember them. I remember that one though.
I don't feel like you and I are that far apart in age though.
No, we're not. But I think at that age, I was 18, 19. You probably were like doing your
I was in the club.
You was in the club.
Yeah.
Like high school party, house parties and stuff like that. You wasn't doing that shit at that age.
No.
So that was my. Those were my. Anybody can attest to it. If you graduated between 05 and 08, those are your freak songs. Pretty Ricky.
Only Pretty Ricky.
Those are the nastiest. I don't know what it was.
All right,
about
so give me your 3 favorite freak songs.
Oh man, okay. Like of all time?
Sure.
Of all time, like okay, it's gotta be Pretty Ricky. No, I'm just joking. I don't know. Like, Pretty Ricky was their freak song.
Okay.
I don't know what other freak songs there were. I mean, shit. Flies. I don't know. I've never thought of this.
What song from Flies?
Oh, Flies. What's the name of that song? I don't remember the name of it. I gotta look it up and let you know. I don't remember the name of it. Flies has some pretty songs. Like girls in my age group, those girls like those songs. Pretty Ricky was number 1.
Okay.
Chris Brown, Take You Down was like number 2.
Okay.
Take You Down was like he was like.
I remember when he did the performance with Sierra.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
Take You Down was like a popping like if you're gonna get your really wet around. If that song came on.
Okay.
So I'll leave it there. I'll just do those 2. Pretty Ricky and Chris Brown, Take You Down. And I don't want to say too much.
Yeah, we'll leave it there.
Yeah, we'll leave it there.
Once you said Willy Wet, it was like already done.
You were gonna get your Willy Wet when that song came on, for sure.
And there it is.
For sure.
Well, thank you for coming to talk to me.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for coming to see me in COVID and socially distancing and sharing your life story with me and us. And hopefully it won't take another year before we see you again.
I know.
But I mean,
we never know. I mean,
that's what we got to do.
Hopefully things are get back to normal sooner than later. But
Knock on.
What is this?
Tableware.
Knock on tableware.
All right. Thanks for checking us out. Peace.